Hey everyone, it's Book of Katherine and welcome to my Black Friday expose. I know Black Friday is this weekend and boy have I got some dirt to share with you. So this is insider dirt that I learned just last year and I'm so glad that I get to actually do it for you because this second injection has just given me, I've been doing all these things I've been wanting to do for you. For example, it finally kicked in and I actually installed a shelf for the first time in like 3 years. I installed a shelf and I did it on camera. So that's going to be coming up. I just can't believe it. I installed a shelf. I took a shower on my own, totally unattended, more than once in the span of 2 weeks. I am so thrilled. So hi Lila, she's at my feet. And I get to actually do my Black Friday, which I've been wanting to do. And I didn't think, I was like, we're getting so close. And I didn't think we'd get to do it. And here we are. We get to do it. All right, so let's get started because it's just around the corner. We got to do this. So Black Friday deals. So when it comes to Black Friday, we think that Black Friday deals are so great. Now, normally I have avoided Black Friday. I avoided Black Friday like the plague because I went there once when I first, grew up, got out of the house, and I was like, okay, it's time to go. And, my family banned us from Black Friday. I don't know, is the thing with my mom. And so she never let us do Black Friday. She made us do other things and said she had this thing. And, so when I got out of the house, I was like, oh, let's go do Black Fridays. And the mall scared me. It was in California and shopping is like it's like the number one activity in California. Everything to do is shopping. They don't have anything else to do except for shopping in California. So I understand better why that is now. So I get it now. So I was like, okay. I went and it scared the heck out of me and I never went back again. But now that I had been losing all of this weight and we had to get clothing again last year, I was like, we need to go and we'll wait. I had no clothing to wear and we waited until Black Friday and we saved up all of our money and we're like, you know what? We will wait until we can, we'll budget and we'll do the Black Friday deals for everything that we need on Black Friday to save the money. And I should have talked to my friends, but I didn't think that I needed to. I thought that just Black Friday deals were Black Friday deals. And I was like, we'll do online shopping because everything's online now. And, we hadn't been buying in a few years. And it used to be a thing of like when we could get out. Anyway, long story short, we finally went out on Black Friday weekend, but we did it on like Thursday because now they did it on Thursday. And we had tried it once like a little bit earlier and we noticed that like nobody was there, nobody was there on a Thursday afternoon. It was like totally empty. And we're like, well, we'll go if nobody's going to be there. Like if you're not going to get crushed in the crowds, so we were like, okay, let's go ahead and we'll do this like Thursday. Like we'll go on a Thursday and we'll save money and we'll do all of our shopping for all this clothing that we need. Now we had loved JCPenney's at this point. We had figured out that JCPenney was really good. And if you watch the beginning of if you watch the beginning of my channel, you see that I talk about JCPenney having like beautiful clothing. And like, for example, I have this, of course, most of the stuff I've been checking the labels. Most of the stuff is like made in India, actually, but this one just happens to be made in China, which now I do thrift shops. But if you plan on doing anything like that, if you plan on going to the stores, this is if you plan on going to the stores. I'm just making you aware of stuff that nobody tells you because I found this out the hard way. This is a big thing that you need to know about what stores do for Black Friday that nobody tells you and you will never find out. I only know because I happen to be friends with people on the up and up and after we went and we came back and we were like, what the heck? And our friends were like, oh yeah, didn't you know? And I was like, no, why didn't you tell? And they were like, well, we didn't know you were going. And we were like, oh, well. And we found out. And so I really want you guys to know before you go, if you plan on going and doing like all of your Christmas shopping, I want to make you aware of something that nobody else is going to tell you that the stores do. The reason why these deals come out and why they're so cheap and everything. So if you see this beautiful sweater, this is a gorgeous sweater. It's actually a really nice sweater. And it actually is kind of comparable to some of the stuff that we have from Macy's. Like from like some of the stuff that I have from way back in my dancing days. I have some dance tops from Macy's. This is actually a nice sweater. And when you mix it up, sometimes my friends can't tell the difference, right? So I got some really gorgeous stuff from JCPenney's, and I showed you on my channel. I was like, you can't tell. You can't tell if it's from JCPenney's or Macy's or Nordstrom's. You can't tell the difference. You couldn't tell the difference. I have beautiful robes from JCPenney's. So we were like, we'll go to the JCPenney sale and we'll get all these amazing deals that were, you know, all these things off. Well, we get there and I was like, what the heck is all of this stuff? Like, what is all this? And they had racks and racks of product that I was like, we had just been there 6 months earlier, just done all the shopping. We got beautiful clothes like that, robes that I showed you, and then we didn't fit into any of the robes we kept, thank goodness, you know. And we did find some robes in the corner that were like that, but they were full price. Those robes were still, you know, like $29 or $45. Their robes are amazing, but they still price them for that. So I was just like, oh, you've got to be joking. Like they did not price those down at all. And so, sorry, to us, that's a lot of money nowadays. So you guys have seen my Boss Jewelry shopping. If you haven't seen my Boss Jewelry shopping, you can see that right here. So, but it's great because, you know, robes are year-round, and you can wear them year-round no matter what size you are. So it's one size fits all, so fine. All right, so so then we were looking at these things, and what we found was stuff like this. Like really crappy stuff, like that you can tell. And I've only watched this like once, and it is just worn. This is inside out, but it is made really poorly. It's already, you can see the fabric is dried out. And this is a fancy top that they had a few months later because we had to end up coming back. This is the fanciest they had. Most of the stuff there, the jackets didn't have zippers. No zippers. Like no zippers in the jackets. None of the jackets were lined. And they were all priced super big. And then it was like, oh, down to like $7. And we were like, what the heck is all this stuff? It was worse than stuff that you would find at like Big Lots over on the West Coast. I guess Ocean State Job Stock lots over on the East Coast. Better stuff at Ocean State Job Stock. The stuff wasn't even sewn right. Like the pockets would be in and it would be all bunchy and it would still have the labels of the good stuff. And we would go looking for the really well-made stuff that we were used to at JCPenney. And we're like, what is this? And we couldn't find anything. The stuff would be sewn like half up on one side and long on the other side. And we were looking for we're like, okay, well, where are the racks of stuff from the old stock? And we would find little bunches, like in little sections and corners of the old stock. But they just have racks and racks of new stock, what we learned, you know, because we got on the phone right away. And our friends were, well, one friend in particular was just like, don't you know that for the Black Friday, what the stores do is they order stock for Black Friday. And it's not just clothing stores that do it. And it's not just JCPenney. Before we even went shopping at JCPenney, there's a reason I showed you Clinique. All right. So we went into Clinique and we went into Clinique. I had done a Clinique shopping online. I had just done that video for you. I just figured out that Clinique was the way to go. Like, forget all the beauty things. Like, I have learned that all that Sephora stuff, I've learned, like, I had still had stock that I had bought from YouTube. I learned that that stuff has half the shelf life of anything from Clinique. Like, anything from Clinique lasts twice as long as, like, a Kat Von D lipstick. And now I've gone back to like see if I should get a Kat Von D lipstick again because I had to replace all my makeup's gone bad, so I had to go replace it. And now that stuff's even gotten worse. Like, it doesn't even look good on the skin. Like, the product's gone down, and I'm like, forget it. Like, I'm not getting anything from there, right? So I'm like, stick with this, right? So and even ColourPop's gone down. I can't use ColourPop anymore. Their matte doesn't stay. Their satin lips, so I have to do a whole new makeup video, like a whole new makeup video. So now I just use like the Wet n Wild, the $4.99 ones are what I use for the long wear, and that works. Those still work great. You know, like the CoverGirl. Yeah, I'll have to go in that later. Anyway, so back to Clinique. So Clinique was having a huge online sale. They were like Black Friday, and so on Thursday I ordered this huge thing, and so I got all these things that I shopped really, really hard to get the makeup that I needed, the makeup that I wanted, because I waited, and I was like, I want to get this Clinique stuff. This is the stuff that I need. This is the stuff that I want. I knew I needed palettes. Boy, I went for a long time. I had to wait until spring to get anything. Why? Because I got everything in the mail. I was so proud. I thought I saved like $600 on makeup. I really did. I thought I saved like $600. It was like 75% off. And I got makeup palettes like this. Now, I returned like everything. I returned everything except for one small moisturizer. And I literally held on to this for this video. I held on to it for a year because it cost me like, I don't know, $17. And I was like, I'm holding on to this for you. So if you could donate maybe $17, if someone could donate $17 down below to pay for this video, I would really appreciate it. That would be really great. $17.24. I would love it if you could do that for me because I don't have sponsors. So you guys are my partners and I love you for it. So anyways, I held on to this because I was like, this is worth it. I don't want any of you guys to go through this. So why is this bad? And then the wife of the person who told me about the stock was like, well, why did you do that? She told me. She's like, don't you know? And I was like, no, I didn't know. I was like, why is this doing this? So what happens is, first of all, the box ended up being all cardboard, which nothing from Clinique is all cardboard. Look at this. So I did in my video, I told you how great, like Clinique, when they give away free things, I said always go to Clinique for their free makeup. Like they give away makeup if you buy like $25 worth of stuff. When you go during their free gift sales, or they give out these amazing gift bags with as amazing, like it'll have a pouch in it. It'll give away free. Look at this size of moisturizer. Like it's insane. Look at how much moisturizer. This is almost like a full-size small moisturizer. It's ridiculous. In fact, I went and bought a new small moisturizer and I didn't need to because I was going to donate all this, but they don't want it. So, but look at this. This is what they give away in a giveaway bag. A plastic thing with like a real mirror. Look at this. Like this is how nice their giveaway bags are. It's a full-on mirror. This isn't even like, that's like actual glass. It's so nice. And then what do they send me? When I buy like the Black Friday sale, they send me a cardboard box. And then they send me a real mirror, but it's a black cardboard. And I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, that doesn't seem like, this isn't one of their real products. I don't get it. And then I go into it and get this, you guys. Every single product in it has purple. Even their white. Like they weren't kidding with this purple packaging. Like they weren't kidding about it. So like I go ahead, I can't believe this. So I go ahead and I'm like, okay, let me put on some white, right? Do you see that lavender in it? Like there's a lavender overcast. Do you see that lavender overcast? And I'm like, wait a minute, but I didn't want a white with lavender overcast. And then I tried the other white. I know I just double dipped, so I'll turn it around. And then you dig it up a little bit and you start finding purple flecks in the white overcast. And they didn't sell it that way. So then that kind of has a purplish, not as much, but it has a little bit of an iridescent. That's a little bit more white, you know, compared to the other one. But I go into every single color. I go into this gray, and lo and behold, the gray has purple overcasts, like a ton of purple. And look at how much purple. It looks like an actual purple. And I go into every single color in here. Every single color. Now, is that how they sold it? What does this look like to you when they sell it to you? When they sell it to you, what do you think it looks like online? I was like, finally something with a real taupe. Finally something with a cool brown. And you can see it now, can't you? You can see the purple in there. Like when you dig away at it, you can see, oh, there it is. There's that purple. Do you see it? You can even see it in here. Do you start seeing the purples now that I've dug in on all of these? And I'm like, I can't use any of it. Because no matter what I do, like every color I put on is purple. And they were like, don't you know not to buy makeup on Black Friday? And I was like, no, why? And they're like, that's when they get rid of all of their overstock for the year. That's when they get rid of all their bad makeup, their old makeup, all their mistakes. That's when all the beauty cosmetics industries gets rid of all of their like overstock. And they're right. Like the chubby stick was kind of like clumpy and dry. Like every single thing I got was a bad product. I had to return all of it except for the moisturizer, like this little moisturizer, which is stupid because no, this is from the spring. That's right. So I waited until the spring. Then I went and bought a few things that cost me $25 and I got a ton of free gifts. And that took care of me. And I'm just like, you guys, and maybe it means waiting till the spring or whatever and waiting till there's a free gift or whatever. Or maybe it means going to the thrift store. But I'm just here to tell you that we should have known that none of these like Black Friday sales, none of these big companies are just going to give you discounts for nothing. They're going to get something on the backside of it. And it is their opportunity. Look, I am starting to fall in love with Martin Friedman. Why? Because I've been listening to his tapes. There's what all these little conservatives go around saying that Martin Friedman says. And boy, do they sure, it's like listen to Christopher Hitchens talk about religion. So then there's listening to what Martin Friedman actually says. And I love listening to him. He is actually a smart, common sense guy. And they were like, isn't capitalism greedy? And he's like, name a government that isn't greedy. Like, name me a human that isn't greedy. Like, name me someone who isn't greedy. Like, tell me what country doesn't have greed. Like, name me a system that doesn't have greed. And he's right. Like, that is the name of the game in China. That's what drives China. That's why it's the second largest economy in the world. But because it's communist, all the wealth only goes to the Communist Party and its members. That's why it's the second largest economy in the world. But it has 5,000 billionaires, while America is the largest economy in the world, and it only has 500 billionaires. Our wealth is spread out. So we have capitalists in our society, but our people all the way down the chain are just as greedy as the corporations. Like, we all have greed. It all drives us. I love In Sheep's Clothing. Are you enjoying In Sheep's Clothing? I just added that to the reading list. So In Sheep's Clothing by, I think, George K. You can look it up on my Twitter feed. But In Sheep's Clothing. And he talks about how we all fight for something. We have a fight system. He says, I sometimes think if we're not making love, we're fighting. We're fighting for something, for survival, for what we want, for something. We're always fighting for something, for what we need. There's something we're fighting for, to be believed, to our reputation, to be seen correctly. We're at least fighting for something. And so when we do Black Friday, we're fighting for our finances, or we're fighting for what we want, or we're fighting for our kids, or we're fighting for the thing that we get. But the problem is that if you really want to fight for your finances, Black Friday is not the way to go. Not only are you going to get trampled, but you are not going to get a bang for your buck. The TVs that you get, the products that you get are going to break. They're going to break in an insanely short amount of time versus a product that you get any other time of the year. And there are great deals other times of the year. But if you wait just a few short months, because let me tell you, January, February, March is like the month, especially around like big TV time, like, game time or whatever, when they're selling the best TVs and they're selling them at low prices. Like, that's when they're selling the highest end TVs, because that's when the most discerning consumers are out. You spend $50 to $100 more, and oh my gosh, or if you are smart enough and if you learn the techniques of standing your ground, like Candace Owens is an amazing person to watch. She has ethics and integrity and stands her ground. Like, she is able to do all three. Like, she fights for herself, but with ethics and integrity. That's assertiveness. That's not aggressiveness. And In Sheep's Clothing talks about that. I quoted him in my Twitter feed. I said, there's a difference between aggressiveness and assertiveness. One crosses people's boundaries and the other one doesn't. And if you learn to be assertive, like we were assertive when we got our TV, Like, I fought really hard on a project. I got really great, and so we went, and I was assertive with our TV, and we were able to bargain it down, and we got a TV, and amazing, they had it marked at a lower price, and they were like, oh, it's actually this price, and we just stood our ground, and we're like, but it was marked at this price, and we stood our ground, and we got it at that lower price because it was marked at that price, and we have seen other people go in and do the exact same thing and just let it go and go, oh, it's the same price, and they just let it go. You know, you got to learn to stand your ground, and if you do that, you can get better things for your money. You know what I mean? And you can actually get something that goes further for your buck than just going ahead and letting yourself be subjected on Black Friday and just believing that these companies are going to just give things away. There are places, for example, that you won't get cheated. For example, the one time that I really did love our experience was when we did have money and finances. We were all done with festivities, all done with friends and family, and we were on our way home. And this is the one time I said we learned that Michael's was, not Michael's, but when we tried and we learned that it could be empty. And we were on our way home, happy in LA, and we were on our way home from LA. And we stopped by, we saw that Michael's was open, and we saw that nobody was in the parking lot, but that it was open. And we're like, you know, it's supposed to be Thanksgiving, it's supposed to be sales. And we loved Michael's at the time, and we were like, let's go ahead and see what's in there. And then we got amazing Christmas decorations. And we love, my husband's obsessed with Christmas decorations. Like, he's obsessed with just, his parents did some job on him with Christmas or something. Like, they really screw, they really screw with his head on Christmas. And so he's got this thing, right? He's got this thing with Christmas. And so I don't mind. I don't mind. And I'm like, let's do it or whatever. And I love sparkles. I was a ballroom dancer. So I was like, let's do it. And we got amazing, decorations at Michael's, and we got these gorgeous decorations and everything like that. But now, for example, look at this. Like, this is what I've been doing. Ooh, let me show you. Now, in preparation for this year, I mean, part of it's that we don't have the finances, and we haven't celebrated Christmas in a really long time. But that's okay. We have each other and we don't mind. And, we've got snow, and it's different after California. So for us, it feels like a celebration. Well, you saw the little tree. Like, we have a little tree. Like last year, we had the little tree, and that was really happy and everything like that. So we're happy, and we have an amazing family, which makes it, presence isn't what makes your, and I'll do a thing on that after last year. If you haven't seen my Thanksgiving and family video, you really, really need to see that. That's right here. You really need to see my Thanksgiving video about family and how we left it, how we ended up having our first amazing Thanksgiving and our first amazing Christmas. And gifts aren't what defines that. So for us, we have much, much better holidays, even though we used to have a ton of gifts, but we were with family. For us, the holidays, are just magical because it's the love. Does that make sense? So we're like love and snow. I mean, you just can't beat that. So, but now we have thrift stores, and so we get like the real, I don't know if you can see the shine on that, but we're getting like, I make sure and I buy the boss stuff. Like the stuff, this is all made in America. Like, all of our stuff used to be made in America. So let me take off this tag. But yeah, this used to be made in Pennsylvania. Birtwick, Pennsylvania. And so silky, both sides stick to itself and can be curled. And this stuff, you have no idea how gorgeous this is. It kicks all the ribbons' butts that we have. Like, it just is incredible. So I make sure, when we're in the stores, that's what I do now. When I'm in a thrift store, I pick this stuff up. If it's $1 or $2, and I'm like, okay, that's how we'll do Christmas. And then, I've even done it already. Like, if it's been his birthday or whatever, and we send this to his dad and stuff, we use this. And it makes it really, really celebratory. So I don't need to go to Michael's. Do you know what I mean? This stuff's way better than anything that we get at Michael's. And I've gotten red ribbon, even outdoor ribbon and things like that. So the thrift stores have these amazing decorations that you can use. Because unfortunately, the things I got at Michael's, none of the cats can have now. We didn't have cats before. You can do so. That's why I did a video about companion animals. And I was saying, if you don't need a companion animal, then don't get animals. And I explained the reason why, because you would be amazed at how much they can limit your life. You'd be amazed. We were able to travel 38 states and travel to 7 countries because we didn't have pets. You can't do that with pets. We have companion animals because my doctor said to get them, and thank God, and they've made my life better, and they've increased my mobility at an enormous rate. But if you have kids, okay, that's great. Like they can help them, you know, but I made a whole video about that. I'll share that later. But, you know, like once we got pets, it was like all of our decorations. So we have these gorgeous decorations. Here, I'll show you some of them. Let me show you. Yeah, like all of this stuff, like you can't have that kind of stuff. Like, oh, good Lord, look at all that. Like you can't, none of that with cats. Like you can't, nope, 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 none of that. So it's unfortunate, but they're worth it. Oh God, like this is one of my favorites. I really, really love this. But this is all stuff that we got at Michael's during that Thanksgiving sale and stuff. And of course, after that, like there was time after that, we got better and better and we were able to move on to Pottery Barn and then Restoration Hardware. Oh God, but now Restoration Hardware is like, it looks like a communist Soviet, you know, they didn't say that. They didn't say that when their stocks went down and they were like, oh no, stocks are going down. And they're like, oh, it must be the economy. And I was like, no, like we still get their catalogs. And I was like, no, it's because they switched over to like Soviet Russia. They called it modern, but it all looks like a Soviet Russian jail cell. And I was like, Restoration Hardware used to be traditional American style. It is the only store that sold traditional American hardware with a traditional American style. And they just quit. And now it's all gray slabs of rock. And I'm like, oh yeah, we all want to live in a jail cell. The nice thing is that the vintage industry is caught up. Everyone's buying everyone's buying furniture now. That's just gorgeous. But they dropped like 15% or something like that on Wall Street. And I was like, that's what you get. But you know why they switched? Because they're following people like Condoleezza Rice, who's going around saying, oh, you know, you need to switch into these UN policies and, you know, get into world globalism. And, you know, they're getting what Jordan Peterson calls the fifth column. They're getting the fifth column and they're listening to that fifth column. Don't get a fifth column. If you are a company, stay independent. It's the one thing that you have. A fifth column is what communists have. You're basically adding on a communist regime. And you know what? You want to add the Communist Party into your company, then you're going to see a decrease. Hands down. It won't be your company anymore. I can guarantee you that. So anyway, back to the rest of you at home. Go ahead and have fun this Black Friday, spending time with your family and be stress-free. And, you know, I wrote a lot on Twitter about shopping made in America. Boy, have I had some adventures doing that. So much more inexpensive. Like if you buy Adidas, like I had to get some dumbbells for PT. Like they're like $1.74 and it's made in America. Oh my gosh. Like, and Amazon bears it. You can't find it when you search made in America on Amazon. Like it is, I mean, I was searching Google for it and then I had to search the other thing and that's how, cause I do everything on Google. And it was on Walmart that it came up. But then I was like, you know, it was a few days later. I was like, you know what? I wonder how easily Amazon makes this to find. I really do wonder. And Amazon, you know, lists them for $13.94 and it's China-made dumbbells. So you search made in the USA and they list $13 dumbbells, which are even more. And, or like, no, it was $10.99 dumbbells. And then the made in America ones were $13.99. And then if you search for lesser ones or whatever, then it was like, then they listed $6.99 ones. And then you had to actually know about Adidas and search in Adidas. And it turned out it was like the #1 product, but they didn't list it. They didn't list it at all. And then if you look into those companies they were listing, turns out they're all linked to Agenda 21. These made in America companies, Agenda 21's on it. They want your money. It's very, very interesting. So make sure if you're going to search made in America, look into the company itself and make sure it's not Agenda 21 oriented. So anyway, and watch out for those Starbucks cards because Starbucks mission statement is pure Agenda 21 and they do fund all the censorship online. Free speech is the cornerstone of peace. It is the cornerstone to a free society. That is the way that we learn to keep the peace. That's the reason that America has more ethnicities mixed together than any country on earth, and it has the least amount of bloodshed than any other society on earth, is because we have free speech. Once you add censorship into it, then it starts bloodshed. Censorship is what led to 100 million deaths in a short 100 years. So, and Starbucks pushes it. It's the biggest advertiser on all the social media platforms and for CNN and MSNBC. So please be careful when you offer Starbucks gift cards. I know it sounds really, really easy, but there is a reason that we're doing boycott Starbucks. So just consider that when you do it. And yeah, I really hope that this helped you because no one else is going to touch. I certainly didn't know about it. I didn't know about it all these years on this earth. I had never heard anything about that, about people shipping in and ordering stock just for Black Friday. If you guys already knew about it, I had no idea. I just know, like, when I go on PicMonkey to do my editing, It just has all there. It pushes you to do Black Friday thumbnails. It's like, get ready for Black Friday sales. It pushes you to do Black Friday videos, but it doesn't say anything about, like, you know, be consumer aware. And so I hope this consumer advocacy video helps you and saves you some money in the long run and saves you in quality clothing, and so that you don't have to replace anything. Because I had to return it all, and I had to go shopping in 6 months, and I could have just, there were all these free gift bag sales in the fall for Clinique, and I could have gotten my things then and had my makeup instead of wait all the way until spring. I wait till April to get my makeup, and it was worth it, but dang, I hated it. You know what I mean? I really hated that. So I've waited all this year to do that, and I really hope you share this video so you can support others and friends in your lives from doing that. And I love you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Please give a donation down below and support free speech and support consumer advocacy, consumer rights videos, you know, like me. So, yeah, because I don't get ads, you know, they'll never, ever give me ads. I'm not even in review. Are you kidding me? So, if you could go ahead and give a donation amount below, any amount, by the way. You can give 25 cents. It helps a huge deal. So it starts at $0. It's just PayPal. And then also watch these videos. I'll lean over and give you watch these videos. Videos. Have a great Thanksgiving. I'll see you for Insider Movies tomorrow. Mwah.